Hey, Justin. About what I about what I could infer is that it is very loose in traffic, but you can also pretty much run any lane an entire run. At 1807 tonight. Is that right? Not 10. We got Chris. No, Steven's into playoff driving. No, we're missing Keith Prince. I could. Yeah, because I'm showing 36 laps on the tank. So I'm giving it a couple of caution laps and shit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Manny Ray's NOMA Truck Series live tonight with an elimination race here in the round of 8 to decide what is, it's going to be to decide who moves on next week to the next round of the playoffs. But thank you all so much for tuning in here tonight. You are watching Austin Green on PGR Esports, and yes, I did mention I said elimination race. I actually got that wrong. I forgot these guys have one more week until the elimination race. I forgot that we do have the off week next week before we get to that race. But before we talk more about that, let's get right down trackside and get into tonight's starting grid. It's going to be Joey Hickox who takes the pole for NOMA Motorsports over in the AOR Series. Runs with Venom Racing here in the NOMA Truck Series. And you've got Justin Parham to his outside in second, Jay Stinson third. Sam Boutwell will start back and forth for Grandstand Racing. And then it's going to be John O'Lynch. Good to see him in the field making some part-time starts. He will roll off fifth here tonight. Jonathan Herbert back in the 6th spot in the 87 truck. Trace Greer in 7th. It's going to be David Traylor back in 8th with Matthew Fritz in 9th. And Robert Gray rounding out your top 10. Taking a look at your race info, it is the Abington Collision and Towing 155 here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's going to be 155 laps as the total distance. 75% fuel, 5 sets of tires, 1 fast repair. And we do have those 2 stage breaks. End of stage 1 will be at the end of lap 30, and the end of stage 2 will be at the end of lap 75. 7 degrees starting track temp, 1.52 miles. The total distance that makes up 1 lap around Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So again, not at an elimination race, but certainly for some drivers, what they may feel like is their last chance to get it done and get themselves locked in to the championship 4. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. We are racing
know where J.O.
in
is?
City. Here we go at Las Vegas.
There he is.
Works on to Neil straightaway for the first time here tonight, and already they're trying to single file out a little bit up front. Further back, the 05 of John Lynch, still side by side, trying to make something happen on the inside. There's the 19 of Parham. Looks like, man, I tell you what, Jay Stinson, he slammed the door on the 19 right there through 3 and 4. That was a really, really aggressive move for Stinson to keep himself in that second position right now. So as they stay 2 by 2 up front, this is going to be really good news for Joey Hickox. And really, the way Las Vegas races is so interesting for many different reasons. The main one being that here in the early laps, and especially since it's nighttime and we have that really cool track temp, for quite a while actually, we're going to see this track pretty much race like what you would see at a Daytona or a Talladega, where everybody is full throttle the entire way around this 1.5 mile oval. But then eventually, once you start to get late into a run, tires do start to wear out. And once they wear out, these trucks start to swing really, really tight. And when that becomes the case, that's when we start to see the pack split up just a little bit. So the goal is kind of get a good restart, make up some positions in those first couple laps, and then at that point, you want to try to settle it down, try to file in line if you can, and go from there. But the 05 of John Lynch continues to try to move forward, as does the 19 of Parham. The outside, maybe not going to be as strong early, but as the run goes on, tires start to wear out. The outside could certainly be utilized a bit more. Parham, though, going to continue to try to make it work. He knows he can get a little bit better momentum if he can stay even through the corner. Joey Hickox dropping to the inside, trying to get his teammate any draft possible to keep Venom Racing 1-2 at the front. By the way, for John Lynch in the 05, you kind of wonder who is he working with tonight. Talk about him making just part-time starts this season. That gives him a couple options. Could be just running solo. We've seen him run with Grandstand Racing. Wouldn't be shocked if he is running with Venom Racing either. All depends on what the 05 is feeling here tonight. But right now, they are still stacked up 2 by 2 through pretty much the entirety of this pack. Nobody's been able to really get any separation, at least not yet. I wouldn't expect it to, like I said earlier, with the whole way tires going to wear out here until probably we get to right around the lap 15 to 20 mark. I think that's when you start to finally feel the effects of tire wear kicking in, at least enough to where all of a sudden you can't quite stay full gas around the racetrack anymore. We do have, a couple guys in the field tonight that, were in the round of 8, I want to say. And we also have a couple of drivers that aren't. You see Sam Boutwell, John Lynch, and Gray, the 3 drivers that are not in the playoffs right now, but still out here trying to see if they can maybe take home a trophy. And we do have one of your round of 8 playoff drivers that is also not currently in the field here tonight. Looking at exactly what those points look like coming into tonight. Right now, the drivers that would advance to the championship 4 that are currently above that cut line, David Traylor, he locked himself in with that win that he got last week. Justin Parham currently sits second in the point standings.
I'm trying.
You've got Keith Prince back in third. Jay Stinson right now, the last man above the cutoff line. He's 4 points above his teammate Matthew Fritz. And for Matthew Fritz, right now sitting in that 10th spot, he's got some work to do. But if you look on the scoring tower, the one driver that is in the round of 8 that's not here, I'm looking for here, it looks like it was Keith Prince. I believe it is. Yep, sure enough. Prince, I was like, I don't remember calling his name here. He got the night started, and that's a tough break because Prince was one of the drivers that was, above that cut line sitting third. But by not making a race here tonight, I mean, he's going to have a really, really good run next week at Homestead. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself for an elimination race, especially if you're already in a good spot. But Prince may have had other obligations, so we'll have to watch what he can do next week. He's up front, still 2 by 2. Nothing has changed there. Joey Hickox still leads the way. This track in Texas Motor Speedway, Joey has said before, 2 of his favorite racetracks. He likes them a lot because in the first half they race like a super speedway. In the second half they start to race like your traditional mile and a half, where you got to make sure that you conserve a little bit of tire. At the same time, make sure that you can still try to search for clean air wherever you can get it. How about a little bit further back, the 92 Robert Gray. He's been picking off positions since the start of this race. He's up 4 spots from where he started at. He now currently sits in the 6th position. But for Joey Hickox, who continues to roll up front with the clean air right now, Jay Stinson not putting all that much pressure on his teammate. There's really no need to. Again, they're going to kind of work together, at least at this point. No reason to try to push the issue anymore as Stinson washing up the track. It does sound like maybe a couple of these trucks are just ever so slightly starting to swing to the tight side. Not enough to affect him too much yet, but certainly enough to now maybe encourage him to get a little bit more single file instead of the 2 by 2 action that we saw so much of already. By the way, if you're just tuning in, we appreciate you being here tonight. I do apologize if I seemed a little bit scattered at the start of the broadcast. I am in the thick of project season here for the college semester. I have been working on it all day up until broadcast time here tonight, so always takes a couple laps to get settled in, but excited to watch these guys go at it here. Another 144 laps or so tonight. And it's like GT 500 Cobra. Grant Turner in the chat says, couldn't make the race tonight. Glad to be watching. Hope everyone enjoys their Thanksgiving. Same to you, Grant. Thank you for tuning in. And Buster Malcolm, I saw actually earlier in the chat, says, evening all, but good to see you. Buster said, how much do you enter the race? It's not a strict entry fee to enter the race, Buster. I believe there is some sort of entry fee to enter the entire season, although I'm not sure how it applies once the playoffs have started. But either way, if you're interested, we do have the Discord link in the description of the video, so make sure that you check that out. If it's not working for you, feel free to let me know, and you can always get signed up either for this season or just wait to get signed up at the start of next season. That is up to you. Still 2x2 up front. Just as I thought they were going to start to single file out, the pack remains rolling really strong, but now it's the high side. It's starting to come to life here a little bit. I saw a couple of drivers trying to sneak. There you go. I was just going to say I saw a couple of drivers trying to sneak to the right rear of others. Justin Parham going to be one of them trying to do it. He got to the right rear of Stinson. Oh, man, he tried to really pin Stinson. And for Jay right there, that was close. He started to wash up. Parham making sure that he holds that two-truck honest. And he picks up the position as a result. That was a really, really clever move right there from the 19 of Parham. And he may try that same thing on Joey Hickox if he can get up to the front. Say up to the front. He's already at the front. But if he can get actually to Joey Hickox, who again currently leads the race. By the way, for anybody who's maybe still a little bit unsure how it works, all the drivers that you see highlighted in white on the scoring chart on the left side of your screen, those are your round of 8 playoff drivers that are fighting to get into the championship 4, which again will be in about 3 weeks' time. We won't race next week. The week after that, we go to Homestead for the elimination race in the round of 8. And the week after that is when we officially do the championship 4. Whoa, man. David Traylor and Jay Stinson now with a little bit of door-to-door contact right there down the front stretch. And that was a really, really dicey area to hit to. That transition from the straightaway down to the apron is not, it's just a tad bit of banking on the straightaway, enough that when you go down to the apron, your car gets a little bit unsteady on that transition over. That was really, really close there for David Traylor. He got doored, it looked like a little bit, by Jay Stinson, but a good save. Now he's going to go back to work on trying to catch back up to this 2-car. Stinson will actually look to the inside of one of David Traylor's teammates, Sam Boutwell, Grandstand Racing. Speaking of David Traylor, we saw what he was able to do last night in the Asphalt Outlaws Racing Xfinity Series. Looking to do more of the same here tonight. And that is dominate the race, but so far, he has proven what everybody's probably dealing with, and that is the struggle to get through lap traffic. David Traylor right now on the bottom. And he's got good speed. He's picked up a couple spots from where he started this race at, but just really hasn't been able to pick up any more since then.
What?
Meanwhile, somebody going in the opposite direction, John Lynch, looks like he has fallen back to the 10th spot, down 5 positions from where he started this race at. Currently the last truck in this lead pack. And for Lynch here, I'm not sure if he had some sort of issue or what the deal was, but he started off with really, really good qualifying speed and then was fighting for the lead there the first couple of laps. Since then, he has fallen to the back, and we'll see if he's able to get back to the front before this stage is all said and done. So 19 of 155 laps complete, and for Joey Hickox, who leads the way, Justin Parham tries to close in on him, but then after that, there's a little bit of breathing room between the rest of the field as Sam Boutwell, kind of a little bit of a moving roadblock right now for Chase Greer, David Traylor, and Jay Stinson. They've all been working to try to get by him here the last couple laps, but have not had any luck, at least not yet. So as it stands right now, 47 of Boutwell is up the spot from where he started. He is the last truck in the podium position at the moment. Now Boutwell, we talked about not fighting for a championship 4 appearance, no longer in the playoffs. He did, I believe, make it to, actually pull that up for you, to the round of 16. But again, was not able to obviously advance to the round of 8 where we are tonight. Still overall a good season and a good run for Sam Boutwell. Behind him, you still see some of the 2x2. Herbert, though, got really tight right there through the middle of 3 and 4. You saw that 87 truck actually drift up the track a little bit. He had to get out of the throttle. That cost him a bunch of momentum. And now, 29, Manny Ray's Mafia Machine, Matthew Fritz. He's going to try to sneak by on the outside here of Jonathan Herbert. Can Herbert slide clear the 29? The truck's starting to work up on him. And really, it's interesting because 1 and 2 seems to feel a little bit freer than 3 and 4 does, at least in my mind, in these trucks. Once you start to get on old tires, 3 and 4 just has a tendency to get really, really tight, especially on exit of the corner. Whereas 1 and 2, you go over the bumps. I don't know if it upsets the truck a little bit of what the deal is, but like I said, it certainly feels a little bit better over in 1 and 2 than it does in 3 and 4 once it starts to get tight. And up front, Joey Hickox, he's held on to that clean air long enough where now we are starting to see what we talked about at the beginning of the race, that point where the draft is no longer holding everybody even. Hickox has put about a 0.3 second gap on Parham. Parham has not lost the draft yet, so Hickox hasn't been able to completely check out just yet. But then Chase Greer, who's a second back, is leading that second group. Sam Boutwell still on the outside of Jay Stinson here. They are all continuing the fight up for all it's worth here to get by the 47. Stinson will be able to that time. Matthew Fritz, can he do the same right here? Up on board with him as he works down Neal straightaway. And again, the idea is, remember that the draft is helpful down the straightaways here at Las Vegas, but then when you get into the turns, that's dirty air that takes some of the downforce off the front nose of these trucks. And when you don't have as much front downforce, the truck has a tendency to get tight. That's pretty much the idea of what we see here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Next week at Olmsted, completely different type of racing. These trucks are going to be out of the throttle a lot more. That track will have a lot more fall off in terms of tire wear. You won't see nearly, like I said, as much throttle time or probably even as much pack racing for more than a handful, maybe a couple handful of laps. We are just 6 laps away here from the end of stage 1 as Joey crosses the line this time. Justin Parham, and he has not gone away. We talked about it's been struggling to really gain anything, but at the same time, he has not fallen back any further. From about that 2 to 3/10 of a second margin. So for Justin Parham here, he's going to try to maybe make one more lunge here at Joey Hickox. The problem is the momentum is just so slowly gained right here. Now what is helping him is he is getting down into the corner just a little bit sooner than Joey. So he is able to get a little bit of clean air, but right there's what you start to worry about. Justin Parham is getting really close to that outside wall. That's just the 19 trying to push it more and more each and every lap. At some point here, he's going to overstep that boundary, and if he gets into the outside wall, it's going to cost him all the momentum that he would need to potentially try to steal this stage win from Joey Hickox. Both of these drivers right now, as it stands with the points, they're both in good position. Joey Hickox not as good of a position. I say they're both in good position because I'm accounting for the fact that Keith Prince isn't here tonight, so Joey will just be one spot out. And then, of course, Justin Parham second in points. So Hickox still, in theory, needs the stage win more than Justin Parham since he is outside looking in. But, I mean, even just a good stage finish here, I think would certainly help Joey Hickox potentially try to move up in the points. And he'll have one more shot at it next week if he can't get the job done here tonight. We're always talking about how you kind of try to circle a track that you feel like that's your opportunity to maybe get a win so that you don't have to necessarily worry about pointing your way into the next round. For Joey Hickox, that's obviously here at Las Vegas. When you look to next week at Olmsted, it is a mile and a half, but for Joey Hickox, when he looked at the round of 8, he had one track in mind, and that was probably Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Chicagoland, a little similar, not quite the same. Of course, Texas Motor Speedway already happened in the round of 16. Would have been the other track that I think Joey would have had circled as a big opportunity to get a win at, but the 3-car we'll see now, just 2 laps to go here in stage number 1. Justin Parham still running in second. He is trying everything here to track down this 3 truck. He's going to have a couple more opportunities at it, but he's got to make sure that he is able to stay close. And for Joey Hickox here, just defending the middle right now, trying to make sure that Parham can't somehow find a way to sneak to his outside. Does also give Joey a little bit more momentum, if you will, on the exit of the corners. So here we go. Parham's going to set it up a little different this time. He takes the high side. Joey works down a little bit lower. And they will see now officially the white flag here in stage number 1. Justin Parham has got it down to 1/10 of a second, and here's the move. Justin Parham's going to look to the inside of Joey Hickox through 1 and 2. And this is going to be really tough for Parham here. He's got to find a way to hold on to the quarter panel of Joey Hickox. Final time down Neal straightaway in the first stage. Parham not able to do it. Tucks back in line behind the 3 of Hickox, but that'll cost him just enough momentum for Hickox to scoot away to the stage break. Maybe no. Parham looking for one more look here down the front stretch. He's got it, but it's not going to be enough. Joey Hickox will take stage 1 at Las Vegas. Parham takes second, and Chase Greer rounds out the podium.
I finally wore my tires
here in stage number 1. Boy, what a finish up front for the stage. Joey Hickox, though, was able to fend off the charging Justin Parham. So he will take the stage win, some extra points. And got to assume that will move the 3 truck up a little bit in terms of the point standings. So everybody going to come down now for their first full service here of the night. Tires and fuel. So as they do that, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. And we'll be right back, see if we can't get an interview with your stage 1 winner. When we do, stick with us here at Las Vegas.
full of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
I ride front with a 56.
Have created.
Yeah, Justin, get a lot cleaner air, and I spent the first several laps trying my best just to figure out a way to push
The
him.
fastest growing sports drink in history.
Sacrificing that right foot.
This season, we are hydrated.
The official sports drink of the UFC. It's on!
Hey, somebody had a worse right front than me. That's surprising.
Green flag is in the air.
10. I was wide open like the first 20 laps.
3x3.
Almost no trouble around goes Alex Hill. On into the outside wall goes Hill. They're wrecking big time out back. We're not going to throw a caution.
And he's got Jay behind him.
Back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we get ready to get back to Green Flag Racing for Stage 2. See if we can get a quick word here with your Stage 1 winner. Hey, Joey, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I know you guys are getting ready to go back green, so we won't hold you for too long, but overall, you looked pretty fast through Stage 1. What did you learn as you had the 19 tracking you down there at the end?
I mean, this track gets really tight. It's going to be hard to pass on the bottom, so track position is going to be key.
Absolutely. Well, we
Hey,
know that you guys
I'm
got
not
to go a
even
little bit
in,
longer
so.
here in stage number 2. So the other big question is, how are you feeling about your fuel mileage here? What's going to be the strategy?
I don't know. If we get a caution, we can make it. If not, then I don't know. We were just talking about it. I don't really know what we're going to do there.
All right. Well, we'll let you go, Joey. Good luck here in stage 2, and congrats on the stage 1 win.
All right, thanks, buddy.
There you go. So the track's getting tight, kind of what we expected. Fuel mileage is a bit of a question. Good things to take from that interview is it'll be 35 of 155 laps complete. So here we go. Can Joey Hickox sweep the stages? We're getting ready to find out. Starts alongside his teammate here on the front row as green flag is back in the air. We are underway in stage 2 at Las Vegas. It's a good restart for the 3 of Joey Hickox. He gets away to a big jump. So we'll have to see this time how much racing do they do out back. Last time, all the racing that they did was what really led Joey Hickox to be able to pull away a little bit and have that opportunity to keep the clean air through the entire stage. You've got some guys up here that are starting to get more and more aggressive. David Traylor in the 54. Keep an eye on him. He has now moved into that second spot, and he's not done yet. He looks like he wants a little bit more. David Traylor in second. What can he do here off into turn 1? Watch for a potential move right here from Traylor. And he set him up. Is he going to look to the outside, the inside, or does he just stay in the draft? Looks like for now he just stays in the draft. Maybe going to try to save a little bit of tire here behind Joey. And the runs are just so massive down the straightaways here on fresh tires that it's really kind of a guessing game if you're the leader. The only thing you can really do is try to take away the general line through the corner that the guy behind you might like. David Traylor with another big run down the front stretch here. Is it enough to try to take it this time? He won't take it to the inside. Will he try to take it to the outside? Not there either. 54 remains trapped behind Joey Hickox as Chase Greer and Jay Stinson, 2 of the Venom Racing teammates, racing right now for 3rd. And you can see Justin Parham. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he had to start all the way at the back here for this stage. The 19 now side by side with the 05 of John Lynch. You can see the 92 of Robert Gray just in front of them. And a It's Sam Boutwell who currently sits in 5th. Jay Stinson now back up to 3rd. And he'll start to apply some pressure to the back bumper of David Traylor if the 2 truck can find a way to get by this 54. That'll give the advantage again to Venom Racing, but Traylor's not going to wait any longer. Here he comes looking to the inside here of Joey Hickox into turn 3. Clean air so important. How hard will Joey race him for it? Not very. He's going to let the 54 sneak by. Tried a bit of a crossover. Couldn't quite get the momentum to do it there. Will he try it again down the front stretch? Doesn't look like it. Now he's going to try to get to the outside. And one of the big moves, there's really kind of 2 moves you can do here. If you're on the inside, you can dive it in, hope it sticks, try to make a slide job work, or you can be conservative and just hope that you've got enough grip to stay side by side till you get to the straightaway. And then the other move is if you can get to the outside of the truck that you're trying to pass, and you can grab their quarter panel on entry to the corner, side draft it back a little bit, and then try to make the move that way. But boy, Joey Hickox was able to just slide right up in front of the 54 there of David Traylor. It looked like Traylor had the momentum to try to make a move back, and he'll do just that. Back to the bottom here. It is really, really impressive how well both of these lines have been working and how well both drivers have been able to work each lane. Hickox has been fast up top and on the bottom. David Traylor's been crossing Hickox back over on the top and the bottom. Boutwell and Stinson 2x2 just behind him, and it's it really does look just like a super speedway. You've got 2 grandstand racing drivers lined up drafting with each other on the inside, and you've got 2 of the Venom Racing teammates lined up drafting with each other on the outside. Chase Greer, he's going to get peeked. He's going to get actually up for a minute there. He was going to be able to shut the door on Parham, but instead Parham's going to take a peek to the inside. Albert Gray, John Lynch, Matthew Fritz, and Jonathan Herbert. The last 3 cars in this pack, and they are all single filed out, trying to stick with this lead draft at the moment. So Traylor and Hickox, as they continue to fight, Stinson and Boutwell continue to become more and more important here because one of these 2 have to get clear eventually. And so it's going to really kind of depend, I have a feeling, on if Stinson or Sam Boutwell can get to and push their teammate first. Boutwell on the inside got a little bit closer that time down the straightaway, but Joey Hickox had the momentum on exit of the corner. Boutwell now starting to get a little bit tight. Venom Racing now lined up 1, 2, 3 up top. Grandstand Racing now lined up 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. Watch for Justin Parham here. Will he stay patient and stick behind his teammate? Or does he maybe think about trying to jump out of line and make a move for himself here at some point? So we saw Joey actually working that middle line quite a bit there in stage 1. He learned quite a few things, it seems like, because he's been able to fend off David Traylor here for quite some time now on the bottom. But again, at some point, somebody's got to give here, especially if fuel's a concern. By the way, it looks like we did have a couple more chats since we last checked in on everybody. Buster Malcolm had said, evening all, and after that said, I'm watching now. When does the season begin? That's a good question. I think as of right now, and as Grant Turner said, yeah, you could find it in the Discord, but from what I last heard, Buster, they don't have an official starting date yet for next season. They know that they're going to be doing some recruiting during the off-season, and so they haven't officially announced the start date of the next season yet, but should be sometime after the new year, I would think. Maybe even into February, maybe even a month after that. Who knows? I think that's the general idea. Nancy Hickox, good to see you in here, says busy week ahead. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Absolutely. Thanksgiving to you guys as well. Again, it will be an off week, so we won't get the chance to say that next Saturday. Back on track we go, though. The 3 of Joey Hickox and the 54 of David Traylor continue to fight. Let's hop back on the onboard view here of David Traylor. See David on the inside now, and it may be starting to finally lose a little bit of speed, but the trade-off is, even though right now it seems like Joey Hickox has started to reclaim the advantage, you wonder if Joey's also burning off a little bit more tire by running that high side. Oh, some contact I thought we may have seen right there. That was close. What happened there through the corner? Did he just get loose? Or was there? Oh no, there was contact here. Does Traylor slide up? Maybe. Stinson maybe coming down a little bit. Hard to call, at least from that angle. But either way, they both save it, so it's not really a big deal. Now, Joey Hickox has officially gotten back clear. Jay Stinson trying to take that second spot away, but not quite able to get clear off the front nose yet of David Traylor. 47 of 155 laps complete. Remember, stage 2 not going to come to an end until we get to lap 75, rather the end of lap 75. So we're about 13 or 14 laps through stage number 2 so far. And we've still got a ways to go. In fact, it's going to be 25 laps to go once they complete 51 here. Puts us at about 27, 28 still remaining in the stage. Fuel's the question. If they can make it, Joey Hickok's trying to pull a bit of a lead here is going to be really, really important. So his chances of sweeping the stages, and for David Traylor, one of the guys who we talk about always learns so much through these stages, he may have just learned that being on the inside for kind of a long period of time may not be the right move to make. So we'll see if the 54 maybe tries to make an adjustment in that final stage, the early portion of the run. See Justin Parham kind of fade back with his teammate here a little bit, trying to keep both of those trucks up there. But they just have the Venom Racing cars continue to march by on their outside. Chase Greer now, he's got the run. He might get clear as well. Not quite able to do it, at least not there. Traylor and Parham continuing to fight on the inside. The more that they all fight, though, the more it helps those front two that are single filed out, Stinson and Hickox, to try to drive away from everybody else and just stick together until they either make it to the stage or to that first green flag pit stop. And this is a track that when you come into the pits, ideally you are going to want to come in with at least one or two of your teammates. Otherwise, you could potentially be running, a couple tenths, even maybe half a second worth of time slower without that draft versus when you're in that draft.
Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Cross the line this time for Joey Hickox. He'll officially see 25 laps to go. Stage number 2. Stinson still hanging around in that second spot. By the way, you notice again a little bit of a small field here tonight, and it continues to kind of dwindle down as you get closer and closer to the end of the season. And you kind of expect that in general. Again, NOMA talking about that they want to do a lot of recruiting here over the off season. It's kind of a weird transition season in a lot of ways. So that's part of the reason you see attendance down quite a bit from what we're used to seeing for the NOMA boys. But if you're looking for a series to get into, I mean, this is the one. They've got all the sponsors backing them. They've got a broadcast, whether it's me or somebody else, they always have a broadcast. So if you're looking for a good lead to get started in, if you like the trucks, this would have been your season. And if you like the next gens, well, maybe next season will be your season, because that's what the rumors are right now. The next car for NOMA may be. Again, keep tabs on that, but 10 cars, and figure 7 of them a round of 8 drivers, definitely makes the racing cleaner, but at the same time it changes the dynamic of the way you race, because it's not as big of a field, there's not as much of a draft, you don't have to work through as much traffic, so it almost gives you the opportunity to be more aggressive without as many consequences if you make a mistake. Again, provides a little bit more of the aggressive racing that we've seen, especially on the restart so far here tonight. Joey Hickox, we'll see 54 laps now officially in the books. Jay Stinson running behind him in second. There's Chase Greer in third. Justin Parham still hanging around in fourth. David Traylor in fifth. Sean Lynch back in sixth. And man, really, the 05 has really been struggling here in the medium to long run. In this race so far, we saw it in stage 1. And it seems like we may be starting to see it here now in stage 2. Now, granted, I know I said John Lynch doesn't, make every single start anymore like he did a couple seasons ago. It's more so kind of a part-time start ordeal. Still for the 05, maybe struggling for grip right now. He's going to pit. Wow. Oh, we're going to get a lot of pit stops. Here we go. This is all the Venom Racing drivers, and one's going to spin out back. It's Robert Gray. The 92 on track. Will that bring out the caution? No, it doesn't. Gray was able to get it looped around and down to the pits quick enough that it did not bring out the caution. Let's go back and show you this pit sequence again. This was a little wild. Let's watch it here from TV3. That's Robert Gray, but we'll actually watch a little bit further ahead. So Joey Hickox deciding to pit here. This may have caught a lot of people off guard, and Stinson is going to follow him. Actually, you saw Justin Parham. He chose to go down as well. He caught word of that, and then John Lynch out back with Robert Gray, who spun around. How did Robert spin here? Did he just try to commit a little too late? Yeah, he's just hard on the brakes, and then maybe a brief lock up there as he's trying to miss John Lynch. It's that truck sliding out from under him, and around he goes. David Traylor has now made his way down to the pits. This will be, I would assume, for just fuel. Nope, they're going to take tires too, at least 2 tires. Let's see if they decide to take 4 here. David Traylor saw the right side get lifted up. You're going to see the left side get lifted up as well. So 4 tires and fuel is the call for David Traylor. Let's see where that puts him out on track relative to Joey Hickox, who has already made that pit stop, and here comes him, his teammate, the 05 of John Lynch, and a couple others roaring into turn 1. As you see David Traylor trying to get up to speed here through 1 and 2. And they're definitely going to be able to get by this 54 trailer, just not up to full pace yet. But David Traylor will have a little bit fresher tires to try to maybe go track these guys down with. It really needs to try to stick with the draft here. It doesn't look like he's quite going to be able to, at least not yet. He's still trying to get up to full speed. Right about now is the point where Traylor should be about up to his full pace, if you will. So he's going to try to see if he can go up there and get past some of these guys, but he needs to catch that draft, which is going to be once he gets to within about 1.5 at a super speedway. Here I'd say it's probably a little bit less, maybe 1.4, 1.3, and he's about 1.5 seconds back behind Justin Parham. So he does have clean air and he'll be able to run full throttle through the corners, but it's going to be that question of can he stick with them down the straights, and they have draft, and he currently does not. Chase Greer currently leading the way, has not made a pit stop yet. Still a little bit of question on if some of these drivers are going to try to stretch it, or if everybody is going to have to make that pit stop. You see the weather outside again, 71-degree track temp. So tire wear, even though these things are going to get tight, it's not an issue. You don't have to have tires here in the stage. It's going to be more so about, again, fuel mileage. It is about 7:36 here in the sim time. You can see that we are under the bright lights. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which is kind of ironic that the NOMA Truck Series is here tonight, because we know that the F1 race is going to be here technically tomorrow morning at 1 a.m. We're off the Las Vegas Grand Prix there, which is going to be an exciting one to watch for these guys. Get a little bit of a pre-race, a little bit of pre-race action, if you will. Build up for that, but of course, not more on the line here tonight for these guys in terms of it being a playoff race. And Chase Greer, who still leads the way, has not shown any sign of pitting anytime soon. Both him and Matthew Fritz are kind of the two odd men out, if you will, from the strategy that the rest of NM Racing seem to be on. And right now, Joey Hickox, Jay Stinson, Justin Parham, John Lynch, David Traylor, and Robert Gray are all still a lap down. And Hickox, here we go. Excuse me, Chase Greer, rather. He's going to bring it down here. So that will give Hickox, Stinson, Parham, Lynch, and Traylor all their laps back. Maybe not yet. They still need everybody to pit, but Chase Greer will now have to give up all that track position. He will be way behind the leaders once he comes back out here, since he already waited another probably 10 laps or so, 5 to 10 laps. We saw the first round of pit stops. It's more so probably about 5 to 7 laps. Not any over-exaggeration. And so for Chase Greer here comes Justin Parham roaring off of turn 4. Chase Greer working out of pits, and wow. Well, I'll tell you what, Chase Greer, he actually got out a lot quicker than expected there. You got to assume here that the strategy for the 8-truck, did he take tires here? And if so, did he take 4? You see the right side lifted up. You never see the left side go up. Okay, so that's what it was. The call for Chase Greer here was just 2 tires. And part of that was hoping to be able to stick with these guys. He does have some draft off the trailer, who's getting some draft right now off of, looks like Bowell. Oh, man. Some contact there for the 19 of Justin Parham. And that was Jonathan Herbert as well. Herbert, did that make him miss his pit stop? Let's watch it here. Did he miss the commitment cone as a result? This looked like Herbert here just still being up on the racetrack, and Parham wasn't expecting it here. You wonder, could Parham not see it? No, Parham could see it, but it was just too big of a slow up, and more so, that's the problem right there. Parham had 2 trucks on his outside. He really couldn't just drive straight up to the top, and I mean, by that point, if you're Jonathan Herbert, yeah, you gotta kind of be off the racetrack by that point. I mean, you can see right here that Herbert's still on the racetrack, and Parham tries to sneak by. He does clip him, and initially that looked like it was really bad damage there for Justin Parham. I saw the fender there just briefly rip off of the truck. Did it pump back on here? Watch that. Man, that ripped his left front suspension too. So he may have gotten a really lucky break. iRacing may have caught that as a little bit of netcode or something that didn't actually give him the damage that he clearly should have sustained from that. And for Herbert here, yeah, that gives him a big speed boost, and he's got to get hard on the brakes, try to slow it down to get back on the pits. Oh, what a wild sequence that one was. But for Justin Parham here, he got very lucky. He was able to stick with the pack. So he will still be racing here, potentially for the stage win. Chase Stinson still rolling up top with his teammate Joey Hickox. Hickox with the advantage right now. But here comes David Traylor. Out back, the 54 has caught these guys' draft as the tires have worn out. And the question is, when the 54 gets here, how quickly will he be able to make something happen? You saw Matthew Fritz. He made it down to the pits. That was the 29 that you saw coming out of the pits there as the camera had panned by. So now the 3 of Joey Hickox up top here has got to start to think about, what do you do when that 54 gets here? I mean, David Traylor is absolutely flying on the high side right now. You wonder, if you are Traylor, do you think about trying to maybe go to that third lane above that top seam, if you will, try to make a little something extra happen? I think it's going to have to make that decision here, but the 54 now to the back bumper, the 05 of John Lynch, and sure enough, he's going to try it. Goes all the way up top to the highest seam you can go. Gets a lot of momentum out of it, though. Here's a big run. The 05 of John Lynch, is he going to block him? Yes, he is. So David Traylor now is going to try to take it to the inside instead. Oh, man, that's tight. That's really tight coming off of turn number 4. 2 driver cams battling out right now. There's John Lynch on the right, David Traylor on the left. They will drag race here down the straightaway. Traylor going to take another look to the inside. David knows that he really needs to get this position as soon as he can. And there he goes. He'll get it. The longer he stays side by side with the 05, the more those tires are going to wear out. But now that he has gained that position, he will try to set up Justin Parham for the move next. And they will be coming to 6 laps to go here in stage number 2 as they cross the line this time. Joey Hickox trying to make it back-to-back stage wins. Sam Boutwell, by the way, you see him still out on the racetrack, but no more. Right as we pan to him, looks like the 47 fuel mileage is just not going to be able to get stretched far enough as he brings it down for fuel. So that would tell me that most drivers in general then can probably make it about 30 to 35 laps. I would say they can make it on 35 laps of fuel, and that'll become a little bit more important when we're talking about fuel strategy in the final stage, but that is indeed the reason that they could not quite make it all the way here without going in for fuels, because stage 2 was going to be 45 laps. It was about 40 when we actually got the green in stage 2, but they just couldn't quite make it that far. So the earlier pitting so far seems to be the right strategy call. Joey Hickox, Jay Stinson have been able to fend off Justin Parham and David Traylor so far. If they get broken up in really any way here, Hickox may be a sit and duck. David Traylor is going to go back to the outside. Parham with a big slide. He's got to bail out of the throttle now. That'll give David Traylor another spot. Now he'll have some drafting support from behind as well. Justin Parham, what does he do? And if you're David Traylor, what do you do right here? You know that Jay Stinson is going to stay in whatever lane Joey Hickox goes. So how do you separate these two Venom Racing teammates? Do you try to go by on the inside and slide up in front of one? Or do you try to stay on the outside and hope that you get enough momentum to potentially roll by both of them? That's going to be kind of the big question here. But for David Traylor, still a lot of speed right now. Slightly fresher tires than the 2 drivers in front of him. 72 of 155 laps complete. As we are slowly but surely getting closer to the halfway point in this race, which will be right around lap 77, 78. We're getting even closer to the end here of stage number 2. David Traylor took a peek there down Neal straightaway, nothing doing. And they'll be coming to just 3 laps to go here in the stage. David Traylor will have a couple more shots at it. Jay Stinson, he's going to try everything here to hold on to a second place finish and make sure that his teammate Joey Hickox can hold on to the stage win. There goes David Traylor. He'll take a look to the inside yet again. He's got to find a way to stay side by side with Stinson here off of the corner. Wants for the 54 to move up. Does he need to do it? Doesn't look like it. He was able to hang even. Now that he's side by side, he should be able to get past Jay Stinson either in this set of corners or the next one, as long as he can stay there. Jay got a really good run on exit, though, there. Justin Parham will go to the inside. That helps Traylor out a little bit, but he may have just ran himself out of time. Joey Hickox has pulled about a half a second gap on these two. We've only got about a lap and a half left to go here in the stage. Oh, man, Traylor really tight again. Stinson has been able to roll that outside really, really well, and it's making it so hard for anybody to try to get by on the inside. Which Traylor gives it another shot here. We'll slide up off of 4, nothing doing. And now it will officially be 1 lap to go here in stage number 2. Joey Hickox out front now by about 10 car lengths. He knows that he's got about a 7/10 of a second gap. As Stinson and Trailer will be the real battle here for second for the stage, similar to what we saw for the first place battle in stage 1, but this time it's the battle for second where they're side by side. So final time off through 3 and 4. Looks like Joey Hickox is going to get through nice and clean. Took stage 1, and now he'll take stage 2. Joey Hickox sweeps the stages at Vegas. Out back, drag race to the line for second. It goes to Jay Stinson, and David Trailer rounds out the podium in stage number 2. There is the caution. The stage is officially over. This will be the second opportunity under caution for everybody to come in, get full service, tires and fuel, and get back out and get set up for what is going to be a crazy restart to kick off the final stage here tonight. We're going to take a quick break. We'll go side by side so you don't miss a thing. Stick with us here at Las Vegas.
simulators, and this was like very responsive. Especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
But you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Have created drink company.
I'm gonna assume that old tires don't fire off that well.
In history.
I'm gonna take the outside. That would give G-Dave the best chance.
This season, we are hydrated.
The official sports drink of the UFC. It's on! Oh, that's good.
I pitted with 5 to go to the stage and just ran half throttle. So it's not like they're junk, they're just not stickers.
Green flag is in the air. We are racing.
3x3.
Almost no trouble around goes Alex Hill. Hard into the outside wall goes Hill. They're wrecking big time out back. We're not going to throw a caution. To the finish. Who gets it in the line? Cody Nagels wins it in Talladega.
It is, unless you think I'll launch good enough to clear the inside.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway with the Abington Collision and Towing 155 here tonight for the Manny Ray's NOMA Truck Series. So far, so good. We've been clean, caution-free through stage 1 and 2. With stage 2 complete, you saw your stage winner, Joey Hickox. Looks like he will line up back in 4th now for this restart. We have not gotten the 1-to-go signal just yet. We'll get it this next time around here, I would assume. I do want to see if we can bring somebody else up here, but since we already had a chance to talk to your stage 1 winner, and he was also your stage 2 winner, let's see if we can talk to the man who's been running second to him here tonight. That is Jay Stinson. Hey Jay, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, Austin? How you doing, man?
Good. Well, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing, but so far so good, especially through that stage. You were able to maintain second there, and I mean, really, what we've seen tonight has looked a lot like Daytona and Talladega. What's it been like for you on track, and how have you guys been able to kind of hold off grandstand racing as a team?
They're all good racers over there, so it's a little bit of pinching and, you know, putting them in spots, keeping them low, trying to take the high side on a long run, this stuff like that. I don't know how happy David is with me, but I wanted second there, so I was pinching him low through 1 and 2. He's probably faster than me, but I just couldn't afford to let him pass me. Like, he's done enough winning and all that stuff in this league. It's time to maybe a little bit more physical.
Talk myself out of it.
see if that'll work.
It certainly worked.
Nothing else has.
I was going to say, it certainly worked out there. So far, Venom Racing's looked good through stage 1 and 2. We'll see if maybe you can bring home a win here tonight.
Nah, we'll see. I think Joey's got the fastest truck, trailer, and then I might be somewhere in that top 4. We'll see. Parham's pretty fast as well, so we'll see how it all shakes down. But it's been good, fun racing, so that's the main thing.
It's been fun to watch. All right, Jay, we appreciate you talking to us. Good luck in the final stage.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right, there we go. Jay Stinson said it. I mean, I kind of figured it was going to be sooner or later. Somebody would say something about it. David Traylor, he's been winning so much. Jay says, we got to change something up. We got to do something here. Try to give him a little bit of a fight, and it's been working out well tonight. But Joey, maybe the fastest truck, but he's going to have some work to do now if he wants to get that lead back. Here we go. Final stage at Las Vegas is underway, and it is going to be 75 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Good restart. 47 of Sam Boutwell. This is his first opportunity in clean air tonight, besides during the pit cycling. David Traylor quickly able to slot into second. Stinson and Hickox, they got lined up on the high side, but they're going to have to try to keep that momentum up there. How long can they make that work, though? And David Traylor, you knew he was going to get aggressive on the bottom. The 54 is going to take that spot away from his teammate, and Stinson gets held up by the 47. Oh, no. Stinson got held up. What a move by the 19 of Parham there to dodge him. Both Hickox with an even bigger move as he's on the bottom of 3 wide. The aggression continues to ramp up as Joey, can he slide clear of Parham right here? The answer is yes, he can. Will Justin try to cross him over? Down Neal straightaway they go. Justin Parham, no crossover yet. Instead, it's a big push. Now he looks to the inside into 3. Nothing doing there either. Joey Hickox, how about that? He slides clear of David Traylor through 3 and 4. John Lynch a little bit further back. He's in the middle of all this traffic. Let's hop on board with him right here. There's John Lynch in the 05. Right now he's glued to the bottom. Watching the 19 of Parham, the 54 Traylor, and the 3 of Joey Hickox continue to battle it out just as quickly as Hickox was able to get by Traylor. Traylor takes that spot back. And I think really you're going to keep seeing these two trade this lead until eventually somebody starts to get that slight advantage of clean air once the tires get worn out to a certain point. Both of them know it, so both of them are fighting so hard for it right now. David Traylor's trying to run away from the side draft. Joey Hickox isn't going to let him do it. Right now, for Grandstand Racing, they are lined up first and fourth. One on the inside, one on the outside. For Venom Racing, Jay Stinson not close enough to his teammate yet to give him a push. But they are still stacked up on that outside line here, down the straightaway and into 3. So we expect, after what we saw in that second stage, that you figure if they can make 35 laps on fuel, that's about 70 laps. You might have to stretch it a little bit further, knowing that there's the possibility of making this on a 1-stop. Otherwise, it would be a 2-stop in which one of those 2 stops you would go in for just a splash of fuel. David Traylor, oh man, a little more contact right there between him and Joey Hickox. He's having a blast. Look at the driver cam there. You see the little smile on him and Joey. I'm sure Joey was probably doing the same there. They're having a good time. Sitting here beating and banging down the front stretch, down the back stretch rather that time. But again, at some point here, one of these 2 lanes is going to prevail. Now, last time, once we saw this formation kind of get set up where Joey kind of established himself on the outside, Traylor can no longer get clear, that became the faster line. So at some point, again, I'm curious here as to does David Traylor try to send it off into one of these corners and get clear of Hickox? He may be doing that already and just can't find a way to do so. But it seemed like, at least earlier, the outside was the better lane to be in once tires started to wear out. Joey here Going to try to make sure that he pins David Trailer to have to take a shallow entry to the corner. The best way to make a slide job work is when you can take that big arcing entry to a corner, and when you've got a guy on your outside, it's really tough to do that, especially if he enters the corner early. So Joey Hickox is going to try to keep doing that, but right there, it's a little bit late on entry. That may allow Trailer to sneak clear. Not quite, at least not yet. They still stay side by side. So it's 89 of 155 laps complete. Make that 88 actually. You've got the 19 of Justin Parham and the 05 of John Lynch now battling on the inside, and I'll tell you what, John Lynch has been continuing to make better pace now all of a sudden. He really started to figure out after the pit cycle in stage 2, after it seemed like he had been struggling up to that point. But the 05, it looks like, has kind of refound that speed that he qualified with. Now has himself up here running, trying to contend for a podium finish tonight. Still a long ways to go in this race, though. Next time when they cross the line, it'll be 65 laps to go. We still have at least one, potentially 2 stops. I think realistically, if these guys are going to try to make it on one stop, then what you're going to have to see them make it to is probably, if I had to guess, I'd say right around lap 117 or so. That'd be my general guess. Maybe lap somewhere between lap 115 and lap 120, I think, is the distance that they try to make it here on this first fuel tank. If they want to make it on one stop. If it's earlier than that, I don't know if it's quite going to happen. But man, they are still door-to-door up front. Joey Hickox has been able to maintain this outside, but it looks like Trailer now has been getting closer and closer to getting clear. Part of that is Trailer continues to try to hold Joey up on entry to the corner. And that way Trailer's able to kind of beat him down to the apex of the corner, if you will. Joey Hickox, we talked about how big of a win this would be for him. It would lock him in to the championship 4 with a chance to go grab another Truck Series championship. And if you look at what's next week, I mean, I know it's a mile and a half. It's not necessarily a wild card track, but I just think that if you consider David Trailer and Joey Hickox, Joey knows that Trailer might be able to go out and get it done next week, but this week is really his best chance. Joey, that is, it's Joey's best chance to go out there and get a win. It's one of his favorite tracks. So he's going to make it as if it's a make-or-break night, and this could be that race right here of who is able to grab the lead when the tires wear out enough. The problem now for Joey is he just continues to not have any drafting help on the outside, so he's got to work that much harder down through the corners. John Lynch on the outside behind Parham. Parham back to the top right there. Down through the corners, Justin continues to take the inside line. Sliding up, yeah, you can see that Parham's starting to get a little bit tight. And if Parham's getting tight, I would think that means the leaders are probably about 5 or 7 laps away from starting to get tight themselves. We are getting to that 15-lap threshold here in just a couple laps from when we went back green. That would be right about on cue of when you would expect tires to start wearing out a little bit. And everybody's kind of on slightly different tire strategies, but I think the idea for most of these leaders right now, at least, is that, remember, you have 5 sets of tires. That includes the ones that you start the race on. So you've got 4 sitting in the pits. They took one at the end of the first stage. Then they took one during that green flag stop in the second stage. And of course, you took one during the stage break here at the end of the second stage. So that basically means you took 3 out of the 4, at least from the math that I'm doing. So I would assume that everybody's got 1 set left, and maybe a couple drivers either have an extra half set or an extra full set, depending on what you decided to take during that green flag stop in stage number 2. So 95 of 155 laps down the books. That officially puts us at 61 laps to go. Hickox still out front and in control. The 54 David Trailer finally had to kind of concede that spot. So yet again, the outside proves to be the place to be if we get another opportunity, another restart. I think if you're David Trailer, or even right here, if you get back to him here, you've got to get to the outside. The inside has just not worked. The guy on the outside is able to control it too well and gets a better run on the straightaways. I don't know if Trailer's going to be able to get back to him now. Justin Parham's going to try everything here to help his teammate set up for another move, but Joey Hickox back in control. There you go. Trailer, he's going to try it. Goes to the high side here. Can the 54 get some momentum down the straight? Not quite. Instead, it actually goes in the opposite direction. Parham almost got to his inside. So Trailer's quickly going to try to work back down to the bottom. Here comes Justin Parham. As he gets to the inside of the 54 through 3 and 4. Side by side, you see the QH Design sponsor on the back for David Trailer. Raptor sponsored and the Venom Racing logo. The tailgate, excuse me, I should say on the bed of the truck, Joey Hickox. Joey Hickox now trying to stretch a little bit of a lead as these two teammates continue to race. That's what Joey wants to see. That helps him try to slowly but surely stretch that lead out. It may only be a couple of truck lengths at the moment, but you see Parham get tight again. Trailer has to bail. They're going to eventually decide to just kind of sort this out. Looks like Trailer was the one that decided to let Parham go there after he had to check up. Parham started to get tight in 3 and 4. John Lynch will now take a peek as well. The 05's looking to the inside. Here comes Jay Stinson. So all of a sudden, we now have a bit of a breakaway for the lead and a bit of a battle for second now that has really sparked up. As Justin Parham is going to dive to the inside. He may have something to go catch the 3 of Hickox. He was able to do it in stage 1 as, boy, John Lynch, he got wicked loose right there through 3 and 4. I don't know if he caught that at full speed, so we'll back it up and actually show you what this looked like. Man, John Lynch got really, really loose on the inside of the corner, and he actually may have gotten up into Trailer. From TV preview, starts to slide up on him. Actually gets tight on him, excuse me, not loose, but then once he gets up into Trailer, then the back end starts to sway, but a good save. Keeps it together, but does lose some spots in the process. As Joey Hickox will now officially see 100 laps complete here tonight. He has led the most of them all so far. Justin Parham, though, the point I was getting ready to make is he went up here and tracked Hickox down once he got to second in stage 1. Curious to see if the 19 can go up here and do it again. Got to think at this point, David Trailer is not going to try to set up another pass on his teammate unless he feels like he's much, much faster. Otherwise, I think you'll see him kind of play patient here, stay in line, not do anything too egregious. And then further back, quick run through your field. Jonathan Herbert currently in the last position. He's 10 seconds back from the field. And he is not a lap down, though. We don't have anybody a lap down at the moment. You can see on the track map, he's about a quarter of the track behind everybody else. We've got Sam Boutwell, who currently sits in 9th. Robert Gray is in 8th. It's Matthew Fritz up in 7th with Chase Greer 6th. John Lynch is in 5th with Jay Stinson 4th. David Trailer in 3rd. And it's Justin Parham in 2nd. And of course, Joey Hickox, who continues to lead the way here at Las Vegas. So now 102 of 155 laps complete. Slowly but surely, we're getting closer to that first and potentially final green flag pit stop of the night that we think we would see. I'm going to say the range is going to be anywhere between lap 110 and 120, although I think more realistically it'll be somewhere in between probably lap 112 and 117. It's going to be all about how far can you stretch it. If you're in a draft, you can save just a little bit more here than if you're out in front, but it's a lot of throttle time at Vegas, so it's really, really tough to save any fuel. But as Joey Hickox continues to lead now, Justin Parham, here comes a big run from the 19, all of a sudden tracking this 3-car down. I wonder if Joey, that's what it is. Joey, I think, is going into fuel saving mode here. Could be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm thinking is going on here with the 3-car. Or Joey all of a sudden realized, maybe I'm not so good on fuel. Or if he had a separate issue, let's see. How hard does he race Parham here? I would think if you're trying to save fuel, you let Parham go here and duck in line behind him, but Joey's still racing him strong on the outside. Oh, wait a minute, Justin Parham pit. Wow. All right, well, that answers that question. That would be why we didn't see Parham with a run on the inside through 3 and 4. Justin Parham decides to bring it down. He'll get a couple followers. It's like Jonathan Herbert decided to go in. David Trailer already pit the lap before, as did John Lynch. They're making their way back out, so they'll have the freshest tires. And now we'll see how does Joey Hickox, Jay Stinson react here. Do they go in right here? Yes, they will. There goes Joey Hickox. There goes Jay Stinson. You got to be money here. They will have to make another stop, by the way. So we thought it might be close, but that fuel window got erased. They realized that they were going to have to make 2 stops, so they decided to break it up a little bit differently. Instead of running this fuel window out, they brought it in a bit on the early side of the spectrum. And for Joey Hickox right here, he's going to bring it down for 4 tires and fuel. I would assume this is the stop that they take 4 and fuel on. And watch for the left side to go up as well. Yep, sure enough. All right, so 4 tires and fuel it is. The call for the Venom Racing drivers. Sam Boutwell has now made his way down the pits.
All right, stop right there. Perfect.
Big question is going to be, how does Joey Hickox blend out here in regard to wherever David Trailer's running. Well, here comes Trailer. He is roaring into turn one. He's got a massive head of steam, and he's got some drafting help with him. John Lynch, Justin Parham. And right there, you see him going by the 2 of Stinson. And they will go by the 3 of Joey Hickox as well. Those 2 trucks trying to get up to speed. Joey tried to blend up in front of Justin back there, just couldn't quite do it. Good news for the 2 Venom Racing teammates, though, is that I think that they are within draft of not only each other, but also with Justin Parham. And so we'll have to see if this group can all close back up into one, as we see Sam Batlow now working his way out of the pits. So that leaves just about a handful of cars or so that still have to make some pit stops before things will cycle out. We will see the race for the lead continue to heat up from there. We're going to take another quick break. Stick with us as we go side by side at Las Vegas. Back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You saw all the action while we were on break with the side-by-side view, and man, they are going at it right now in the battle for the lead. Not the lead yet, because we still have a couple drivers that have not made that pit stop, that first green flag pit stop. But Justin Parham was able to get to the point. Joey Hickox, who is also on fresher tires, the same tire strategy, I believe, as Parham, maybe just a lap or so different. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I think this is going to be a battle mostly between Joey Hickox and Justin Parham. But if you're Hickox here, I think the mindset is I have got to get around this 19 as soon as I can. I think that's been the mindset for really any driver all night. Joey's going to immediately take it right down to the bottom of the racetrack. Can he dive clear here into turn one? He's going to send it in deep, open sticks. Looking for a slide job. He's clear. He's got to slide up now. There he goes. Joey's going to slide up. Oh, big wiggle, and out back. We had one almost go around. That was John Lynch in the 05. Big save for Lynch here. He's going to try to get back rolling. man, what in the world happened there to John Lynch? Was it some contact? That would be my assumption here, is that maybe he washed up a little bit tight and had some contact with the truck on his outside. So as they're rolling through 1 and 2 here, he's getting tight, and yeah, he just gets up into David Trailer, and then, ooh, maybe a little bit of net code there that actually shoots him around. I guess there was some contact out back that we didn't see, but I don't think there was. Oh, no, there may have been. There very well may have been right here. Does Stinson get into him? No, there's just a little bit of net code between these guys. That's what it is. That's what ultimately sends Lynch around, but he did have some contact. David Trailer right here. Oh, no, there was contact. All right, well, good thing that we had an aerial shot of that. Couldn't see that initially, but you can see there definitely was contact here as Stinson sees the 05 loose. Out of the throttle, tries to shoot to the high side and just tags him a little bit in the right rear. But, man, that was a heck of a save for John Lynch, who was laying down his own tire marks. Usually once you kind of at that point, you don't save it.
He's trying to put out a yellow
away.
And hit the wrong button.
Now let's go back up front. Sure enough, Joey Hickox has gone to the point. He now leads at Las Vegas.
No idea. That's what that means.
David Trailer just behind. Justin Parham, followed by Jay Stinson. And they are about 3 or 4 laps away from seeing 35 laps to go here at Las Vegas. That was about 5 laps over the distance that we went in stage 1, so we're starting to close in on the end of this thing slowly but surely. I think right now, for David Trailer and Justin Parham, their best shot here may be a caution. And if Joey Hickox, knowing that you've got better stuff and you seem to be faster right now, don't overdo it here. Just slowly but surely try to pull away with this lead. You don't want to try to burn your stuff up getting away from them because you've already got more stuff than they've got. But Trailer will be sticking around here for a while, as will Parham. As long as they're in the draft, they're going to stay single file for the moment. And it is a 4-car lead draft that is fighting for the lead. John Lynch has since fallen 4 seconds back after that big slide and near incident, I should say. And everybody has officially now made their pit stop, their first green flag pit stop here this run. And so I do need to mention that because it's not over yet, right? David Trailer that time went with the early pit strategy. So now he's got a choice. He's either going to try to kind of bite the bullet, stay out with Joey here as long as he can, just stay as close as he can, and that way he can get on more of an even strategy with the 3 truck, or he's going to try to go in really early again and then just hope that he can play a lot of defense during that final run once they come back out of the pits. Chase Greer, though, is 7 seconds back in 6th. You've got Matthew Fritz back in 7th. Sam Boutwell is in 8th. Jonathan Herbert 9th. And Robert Gray rounding out your top 10. So again, I do want to give a brief look. I know we've mentioned the schedule, but to anybody who hasn't got a chance to hear it, of where we're going to head next for the NOMA Truck Series. Next week will actually be an off week for Thanksgiving, so wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And again, there will not be a race next Saturday. And then the week after that, it's off to Homestead, Miami for an elimination race. That'll be a good one. And then the Championship 4 will follow, I believe, the week after that. And that will be at Old Legacy, Atlanta. That will be a good one as well. And that will wrap up your 2024 NOMA schedule. All right, so back to full screen now. All of a sudden, Joey Hickox here starting to turn what was a little bit of breathing room now into a significant gap, I should say, between himself and second place David Trailer. And if you're David Trailer right here, again, we talked about, I mean, him and Parham, really even Stinson. The only goal at this point is to just try to stay as close to that 3 truck as you possibly can until you get to this pit stop. But if you start to lose too much, then at that point I do think if you're David Trailer, you bail on this strategy. Just try to pit as soon as you can and hope that you can get in front and maybe play some defense. Now remember, Trailer, let's see, based off when he pit the last time, which was, I believe they pit right around the lap 100 marker, I wouldn't be shocked to see him come in within the next 10 laps or so. Just have to see how he decides to go about it. So most of the battling that we currently have on track is at the front of the field. See on the track map that pretty much everybody else is spaced out, single file. Matthew Fritz all by himself, as is Sam Boutwell. On the Jonathan Herbert, then Robert Gray could be the first truck in danger of going a lap down, as right now he is about 3/4 of a lap behind the leaders. So Joey Hickox not going to have to contend with much lap traffic the rest of the way, but he may have to contend with a couple, depending on how everything falls into place during that final pit cycle. Joey Hickox, when he crosses the line next time, will officially get to see 30 laps to go here at Las Vegas. We already told you what the point standings were earlier, but remember, for Joey Hickox, he was outside looking in. Right now, he sits 6th in the playoff point standings. He was at 3,038 points, but the thing that you need to focus on is the fact that he was 14 points below the cut line at the current moment. I should say, let's see, is he 14? Yep, sure enough, 14 points below the cut line at the moment. And Matthew Fritz's teammate didn't have all that good of a night, so Joey, I would think here, would be able to catch Fritz even with just a good finish, but he really needs to jump a position, jump 2 positions, and with Keith Prince not being here tonight, getting a win would lock him in. Even if Keith Prince was here tonight, a win would still lock Joey Hickox in, but now it might potentially bring Matthew Fritz back into the question here. As Chase Greer, 15 points out, and Jonathan Herbert, 17 points out. I think those two are also going to kind of be in a must-win position, if you will, in the last couple weeks. Rather, the last race in the round of 8, which will be in a couple weeks. Joey Hickox, still no sign of that final pit stop just yet. Across the line to see 127 laps complete as he goes down the front stretch that time. Further back, Jonathan Herbert and Robert Gray, 2 cars at the back of the pack. I should say the back of the field. They're not really with the pack right now. And Robert Gray is getting closer and closer to falling a lap down as he is working through 3 and 4 as Hickox is getting ready to just now work into turn number 3. Once they hit lap 30, that'll be 25 laps to go. So again, we are expecting to see this final green flag stop probably somewhere at least. I mean, I don't think you want to wait too long, especially if you're going to take tires on the strategy. Now, if you're planning on just pitting here for literally just a splash of fuel, then maybe you don't take 4 tires, maybe you only take 2. But if you want to take all 4, I really like the idea of pitting with at least 15 to 20 laps left in the run so that you can fully use those tires. And actually, though, now that I think about it, I don't think most of these guys will have any sets of tires left. The guys that I'm naming that would have tires left anyway aren't at the front. So for Joey Hickox, David Traylor, Justin Parham, even when they pit again, I take that back. I don't know that they will be taking tires unless the 5 sets of tires that they have listed for the race info here tonight are all tire sets in the pits. Then otherwise, like I said, I mean, they took one at the end of stage 1. They took a second one in the middle of stage 2. They took a third one at the end of stage 2. And they took a 4th one in the middle of stage 3 here. And don't forget the tire set that you started the race on. That makes 5 right there. So unless it was 5 tire sets total that were in the pits and not including ones you started the race on, and I don't think that any of these lead cars have tires left. And if that's the case, then I mean, I think that works in Joey Hickox's favor, but it's certainly going to make trying to run the rest of this race out a little bit tougher. No, it's only 25 to go. That is still basically almost like another tire run in terms of how quickly they can get worn out after about 15 laps or so. Joey Hickox will now officially see that magic number. 25 laps to go here at Las Vegas as he tries to capture his first win in the playoffs this season. Hickox can do it again. He would lock himself in to a championship 4 berth and a chance to go to Old Atlanta and be crowned. Well, I mean, he's already been crowned the NOMA Truck Series champion, so he would, of course, become the multi-time champion. Going to have to hold on here tonight. Right now, I think the only man that can beat him is himself. The amount of speed that he's had here tonight, both on the short run, on the long run, and everything in between. So 24 laps to go now. David Traylor is about 6 to 7 tenths of a second back. They have not completely fallen out of the equation just yet. Jay Stinson much further back. He is about 1.7 seconds from his teammate right now. He sits in 4th. But it only takes one slip up change the complexity of this race, and if we have a caution, man, that would certainly change up a lot of things as well. So now 23 laps to go. Joey Hickox, he has led the most laps all night. David Traylor in second, still hanging around 6 tenths of a second. Can he maybe find a way to make some sort of a late charge here on Joey Hickox? Still got a pretty good drafting partner with his teammate Justin Parham sitting in that 3rd spot. If Parham gets up there, he could have another shot at it as well. He's just trying to follow his teammate right now use that draft to pull himself and also help kind of propel the 54 trailer closer to the front. So they now see 22 laps to go. Remember, the race will not be deemed official until we get to the white flag. That's a long ways away. And I want to mention that because that is a big deal. Even when you're out in front, you cannot relax until you grab that white flag, because we get a restart, even if it's with just 2 to go. It could certainly change the outcome of this race, even if you've been the fastest car pretty much all night. If you're just tuning in, we appreciate you being here. Hope that you're having a good Saturday night. We approach 11:30 Eastern here on the East Coast. This race has gone by pretty quick. It's been a good one here tonight, and again, they have not had one caution outside of the 2 stage breaks, so we have been really, really incident-free tonight. Like to see the clean racing that you get from these smaller fields, and now, oh boy, let's pull up the time delta here and show you what it's been doing for David Traylor and Joey Hickox the last few laps. Look at that. Oh, here we go, pit stop. David Traylor, he's going to bring it in. We saw Joey Hickox, and wow, look at the 3 close it up on entry to the pits. Excuse me, look at the 54 close it up on entry to the pits. David Traylor dove it in deep. That was a big, risky move for the 54, but that may just potentially play a role in who wins this race now, depending on how they come out. David Traylor just made up probably half a second's worth of time on the pit entry on Joey Hickox, who, of course, had to make sure he was conservative since he's been the leader. And for Joey here, does anybody take any tires? Well, there goes the right side, and looks like there goes left side. So, okay, I guess they did have that extra set. So that means that they'll come out on even tires, but who's going to win the race out? Traylor got out of his box quicker. Joey's got the earlier box. Joey Hickox will win the race out of the pits. David Traylor here going to be trying to put the hammer down. He has got to try to find a way to catch that 3 truck. And this is going to get really exciting. 19 laps to go. You're going to have 3 trucks up here with fresh tires. And I'm looking for Justin Parham here, who's going to just now make that stop. All right, there you go. So Parham will just now make the pit stop. We'll briefly watch the 19 here, but we're going to go right back here. Looks like Matthew Fritz has also brought it into the pits. We're going to go right back to what will be the battle for the win here, most likely, once things cycle out. John Lynch made that final pit stop. He's getting ready to get passed by these 2. Now you wonder, where is Justin Parham relative? There he is, and for Parham, and maybe a little bit too far back here. He went in about a lap later. But that 19 truck lost a lot of ground. Him and Stinson will get linked together. For Parham, though, he'll have about 17 laps to catch this group. For David Traylor, he's going to have 17 laps here to try to find a way to get around the 3 of Joey Hickox. All night, it's been about who could stay on the outside until the tires wore out. And I wonder if Traylor's going to try something different here and maybe just see if he can save tire behind Joey, or if he tries to really push the pace right here. Back to the onboard view here. We'll up throw a spot here to Joey Hickox. Show you what it looks like from here's gearbox cam. They can see Stinson and Parham from a pretty far distance out back, but certainly don't want to count them out just yet. So it's now 16 laps to go. These guys are setting up for what is going to be a fantastic finish here at Las Vegas. We're going to take one more quick side-by-side break, and we'll be back all the way to the finish. Stick with us to find out who's going to win it here tonight at Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is what we've been waiting for all night. The setup for who is going to win the Abington Collision and Towing 155 in the second race in the round of 8. And right now, Grandstand Racing is putting the pressure on the 3 of Joey Hickox. David Traylor has arrived, and he's trying to look for the outside. Hickox all night has been disciplined enough to be able to keep Traylor from getting there, but he may not be able to do it this time. Joey Hickox, he's got to pick a lane here. Looks like he's trying to kind of block both. Now he'll commit to the outside. Oh, David Traylor into the wall. The 54 got on entry a little bit too high. He goes into the outside wall, and now Traylor's going to have to try to get it back together and see if he can recover in time, as Stinson will go by, and man, Joey is saying, Jay, get up here and help me out. Parham is saying, David, get it back together, get up here and help me out. This is going to be a team versus team battle back to the checkered. Justin Parham pushed to try to get clear right there. I thought he may have had it briefly, but he wasn't quite clear enough to slide up. Further back, you see David Traylor. He's looking for a way back around the 2 of Stinson. Stinson's going to stay on the high side here to see if he can give a little bit of drafting support to Joey Hickox. And they are now almost in the single digits, 10 laps to go. Robert Gray still leading the way, though. He has not made his final stop yet, but we know that he'll have to, as Justin Parham is about 4.8 seconds back from the leader. And as these two stay side by side, I wouldn't put it past one of those two cars, the two teammates, to try to steal it here. Maybe somebody looks 3 wide, we'll have to see. Parham, he's been so good all night when it comes to actually catching these packs. I didn't think he was going to get there. I didn't think Stinson would either. But while we were on break, these two really made up a ton of ground. And now it's at that point where, again, Parham just not quite enough grip on the inside to roll past Joey Hickox without getting tight. When you wash up the track, of course, you lose a bit of speed. So Joey was able to keep this outside line, and right now that is what is keeping him out in front. But at some point here, you wonder, does Parham take the risk and try to slide clear? He won't do it yet. Robert Gray now sees just 8 laps to go. And again, I'm assuming that the 92 should still have to pit. I don't see any way that he couldn't, but I mean, even if he doesn't here, I would assume that the field's going to be able to track him down. You can see him there in the same camera view now. But Robert Gray, the driver out of Killeen, Texas, still has not made that final stop yet, and he'll stay out, looks like, yet another lap. So 7 to go. Robert Gray hasn't pit yet. We'll keep an eye on that, but we still expect this to be the battle for the win. The idea is simple. Justin Parham gets the short way around the racetrack through the corners. Joey Hickox gets the momentum down the straights. And Parham is trying to use that to his advantage just to slide clear. He just needs to get it once here, and he might be able to hold off Joey the rest of the way, but he just can't seem to quite do it yet. They'll be coming to 6 laps to go. 2.3 seconds now, the gap between the leader and this group of trucks. Robert Gray has not brought it down yet. He'll stay out another lap, and maybe he doesn't have to pit anymore. Maybe this was a strategy call of pitting super early. I don't know. I don't remember seeing the 92 go in, but we may have missed some data on it. Either way, oh, Parham slides up. Did he get into Joey Hickox? He did, but they're still going to be able to maintain side by side. Oh my goodness, Justin Parham is fighting for all it is worth on the inside. Joey Hickox knows that if he can just hold Parham from getting clear here, he will have the momentum, especially on that final lap coming to the line. And there you go, that's what he needed to do. Finally was able to get back clear of Justin Parham. Now David Traylor will get up and give a big push to the back of Jay Stinson. Traylor's going to look to the high side here through 1 and 2. Is there potentially a run up top for the 54 Traylor? Doesn't look like it. He'll have to stay where he is right now. Another run down the back, but nowhere to take it. He'll have to push the 2 of Stinson. Meanwhile, Joey Hickox still leads this group. That's Robert Gray, though, who still leads the field, and the 92 is going to go to pit. A lot of speed into the pits for the 92. I'd be shocked if he got it down to speed. Yeah, he did. Wow, nice job by Robert Gray. Fast pit stop, but that will hand over the lead now officially to the 3 of Joey Hickox, and it's just 3.5 laps left in Abington Collision and Towing. 155, and now Stinson maybe doing a little bit of blocking here for his teammate. I don't know if David Traylor's going to be having too much of this. The 54, though, will take a look back to the inside here, and he may get a little physical back himself. We saw these two getting physical earlier. Traylor, though, that time realized it wasn't going to be enough to make it stick, and so he had to bail out. Stinson gets that spot back. 3 laps to go. Joey Hickox still leads. And after all the racing and battling that this pack did, it's finally going to start to settle back out in a similar way to what it was at the end of Stage 2. With Venom Racing lined up 1-2, and then David Traylor and Justin Parham, the two Grandstand Racing teammates, battling it out for that final podium position, coming to 2 laps to go. That means this is the final chance for a caution if we're going to get one. And that means Joey Hickox is going to be trying everything he can to get back to this white flag and make the race official so that he can cruise home. It will be his first win of the playoffs, and a big one at that. It would secure his ticket to the championship 4. And really, I mean, Vegas, it always provides great racing, but when you come here at nighttime, you get the cooler track temp. And these guys that had plenty of tire sets to work with, you can see all the phenomenal racing that you get in the short run and how it transitions into more of a who can save what in the long run. And for Joey Hickox, he sees the white flag, just 1 lap to go now. There is a lot of really, really interesting track choices in the NOMA Truck Series schedule, but there's always a couple for each driver that you circle that you feel like you can win at. Joey Hickox loves Las Vegas, and he showed it tonight. 1 Stage 1, 1 Stage 2, and as he comes out of Turn 4, he's going to secure his ticket to the Championship 4. Joey Hickox for Venom Racing is going to win it at Las Vegas. His teammate Jay Stinson takes 2nd, Parham takes 3rd. It's a 1-2 for Venom Racing and a 3-4 for Grandstand Racing. How about that? Joey Hickox gets the job done here tonight. And that round of 8, in parentheses, might as well make it say round of 4 now because he's locked himself through. So we will see Joey Hickox fighting for a championship in just a couple weeks.
Nobody that could get side by side.
A few weeks, I should say.
Real passing.
See John Lynch going to come by, give him a little congratulatory bump. As Hickox will bring it around to burn it down and celebrate here in front of the virtual grandstands on the front stretch. And so as he does so, take a look at your finishing results here tonight. Again, Joey Hickox, your race winner. Jay Stinson brings home 2nd, and it's Justin Parham back in 3rd with David Traylor 4th. Chase Greer in 5th, and it's Matthew Fritz in 6th with John Lynch back in 7th, Sam Boutwell